Hi everybody, welcome back to AskAJ. I'm AJ Hanna from Symphony, and we're here to talk more about intelligent automation. Many of you will have heard me talk about, or heard a lot in the market about the important role that intelligent automation is playing in the healthcare space. And that really goes beyond most of what you hear, which is around the use of machine learning to help in treatment and diagnostics. There is a continuing growth in the market around the use of other intelligent automation tools to help create new efficiencies in the more administrative functions within healthcare. And I believe, as a person who's spent a good portion of my career working for healthcare organizations, that there is a need and that these tools can help solve many of the problems that health systems specifically are having in trying to find better, less expensive ways in which to not only provide the care that they provide to their patients, but to manage the administration that goes along, specifically within the United States health system, that goes along with care for a patient. So for most healthcare organizations, we tend to see people start their projects in many of the same places that other industry verticals do, which is in the common back office functions. So this slide will show those common areas that we see regardless of whether you're in healthcare or financial services or in retail. It often begins in the finance and accounting, in the human resources, or in the order to cash supply chain, whatever term you use for the purchasing regimen within the organization. And even within healthcare, this tends to be a place, mainly because there are an abundance of use cases to show the effectiveness of this technology handling these types of transactions. But this is where most organizations are starting on their RPA journey. And in healthcare, we see three distinct areas of operation. First being in basic operations, as we've talked about with the previous slide. The second is clinical operations. This is more of the patient facing. It's much more of the work of the doctors and the nurses and the other clinicians and the things that they have to do from an administrative perspective to care for a patient. And then diving more deeply into the specifics of finance and accounting within the healthcare system, with a special emphasis on revenue cycle operations, which is a tremendous growth market within intelligent automation today. And when we talk about revenue cycle, we tend to think of it in these terms, as indicated by this slide. There is a large number of discrete and distinct activities that happen within the revenue cycle process or set of processes. In many cases, those are handled by single function only pieces of software or technology that don't connect well with each other or don't connect at all. Perhaps someone has built some APIs to make connections for certain data transitions or transactional transitions between those systems. You'll hear the term interoperability used frequently to discuss why so much cost exists within the healthcare system. It's about these technologies not being built with a specific intent on connecting with other technologies. And this is where we believe specifically RPA plays a huge potential role in being able to create the connections that the systems themselves don't create on their own. Again, in many cases, if you're dealing with a scheduling system, if you're dealing with a claims processing system, if you're dealing with an accounting system, many of those you have rules. The data that is being used is stable and it is a set format. And your human associates who are doing that work are interfacing with websites or with screens within those systems in a very consistent way. And so revenue cycle has become an area where people have recognized that, again, at a minimum, RPA is allowing them the opportunity to automate pieces of the function that allows their human workforce to spend more time in troubleshooting and problem solving and in interfacing directly with patients. So again, we believe that healthcare is a very important market for use of intelligent automation. We will continue to see use of artificial intelligence for treatment and diagnostics. I believe we're going to continue or begin to see more and more of machine learning being used to look for billing trends, look for certain types of patterns within certain diagnostic types about the way in which claims are most effectively submitted and paid. We'll be seeing use, and we're already beginning to see use of machine learning to optimize the scheduling of operating rooms, which will be an important thing for the healthcare industry, to not have open operating space or clinical spaces that could be used to see patients and drive additional revenue, as well as the work that we're seeing in implementing RPA and other types of intelligent automation solutions in the operations. If you have questions about this topic or any other, please feel free to drop me a line at AskAJ@symphonyhq.com. Be sure and follow me on Facebook and Twitter at AskAJ Hanna, no H on the end, and we'll see you again soon.